Good morning, good afternoon, at good evening sa ating mga tagapakinig na mag-aaral. Okay? So, ang ating topic na i-discuss sa subject na ito or sa video na ito ay tungkol sa non-institutional correction which will be presented in Q&A with rationalization. PowerPoint is prepared by Sir Wiljan Giang Mansala. Okay? So, umpisan po natin ang ating discussion. So, ano nga ba ang probation, no? Probation, ladies and gentlemen, is a disposition, no, under which a defendant after conviction and sentence, pagkatapos niyang masintensyahan, he will be released subject to the condition imposed by the court to the supervision of a probation officer. So that is the legal definition of probation as the primary program for community-based correction or non-institutional correction. At mula sa definition, makikita natin na meron pong tatlong importanteng tao na andyan, no? Yung defendant na na-convict. So ang tawag natin sa kanya ay convicted offender, no? So kapag ka nag-a-apply ng probation, ang tawag sa kanya ay petitioner, no? Once na mag-grant ang kanyang petition for probation, siya po ay tinatawag na probationer. So siya po yung isa sa unang importanteng tao diyan sa probation, no? Then yung pangalawa ay syempre yung court. Sino ba yung tao sa court? Pag sinabi nating court, andyan po yung judge, yung jurisdiction and venue. So one of the most important person sa court, syempre yung judge, no? Then syempre yung pong probation officer. Okay? So sino ang mag-undergo ng program if in case na ma-approve yung kanyang petition, yung pong convicted offender, no? Then sino naman ang magbibigay ng condition ng probation? Siyempre yung court, no? Specifically yung judge kung tao yung tinatanong. At sino naman ang nagsusupervise doon po sa isang tao na nag-a-undergo ng probation? Siyempre yung probation officer, no, na nagtatrabaho under the parole and probation office. Okay? So, based from etymology of terms, the word probation came from Latin word probare, which means to test or to prove or to test. No, it is a term coined by the father of probation, no other than John Agustus. No, bakit ang ibig sabihin nito to prove or to test or sa Tagalog ang tawag nila ay subok laya. No, subok laya. Ayan. Okay. Kapag ka kasi ikaw ay mag-undergo ng probation, ay kailangan na i-prove mo na ikaw ay hindi nagagawa ng kahit anumang taliwas sa condition ng probation. At isa sa condition ay dapat hindi ka gumawa ng kahit anumang klase ng krimen from the start of your probation up to the end of the probation program. Okay, kaya po ayan ang pinagmulan ng salitang word na probation. From the word probare, originally, no, from Latin po yan, pag originally from French probation. Tapos naging probare, ang ibig sabihin ay to prove, okay, or to test. All right. Oh, next question. What government agency is created under Presidential Decree number 968 to administer the probation system in the Philippines? Letter A, Probation Administration. Letter B, the Boards of Pardon and Parole or the BPP. Letter C, Administrative Code of 1987. And Delta is Department of Justice. Okay? So, ang sagot po dito ay Alpha. Yun pong Probation Administration. No? Yan po ang dating tawag, no? Doon po sa isang organization under DOJ, which is responsible for the supervision of all paroli, pardoni, and probationer. No? So the probation administration was created by virtue of PD 968 or the probation law of 1976, no, to administer probation system in the Philippines. However, under Executive Order number 292 or the Administrative Code of 1987, which was promulgated on November 23, 1989. The Probation Administration was renamed, no, sa mas malawak na ang saklaw na ahensya, which is now the Parole and Probation Administration or yung PPA. Okay? So the PPA given and added to the function is supervising prisoners who after serving part of their sentence in jail are released on parole or pardon with parole conditions. Ayan. So, bale, ang sinusupervise na ng PPA ay tatlo. No? So, ang sinusupervise na ng Parole and Probation Administration ay yung nag-undergo ng probation na kung tawagin po ay probationer. Yan, probationer. Yun naman pong nag-undergo ng parole, ang tawag natin ay paroli, no? At yung pong nag-undergo naman ng conditional pardon, ang tawag naman ay pardoni. At tandaan, pag nag-a-apply sila, ang tawag sa kanilang lahat ay petitioner, syempre. Pero once na nag-grant na ang probation, yung petitioner for probation ay tinatawag ng probationer. Yung petitioner for pardon ay tinatawag na pardoni, while yung petitioner ng parole ay tinatawag ng paroli once na nag-grant ang kanilang petition. Alright? Pero kapag ka nag-a-apply pa lang sila ng probation o kaya parole, kaya pardon, ang tawag sa kanila ay petitioner, mga kaibigan. No? So yan po yung sinusupervise ng Parole and Probation Administration based from the provision of Executive Order number 292. Yan, ano? Okay. Our next question. Ibarra was sentenced to a prison term of prison mayor. Is he qualified for probation? So ano nga ba yung prison mayor? That is 6 years and 1 day to 12 years. Qualified nga ba siya for probation? Letter A, no. His sentence is 3 years, 1 day. B, no, his sentence exceeds 6 years. Charlie, yes, his sentence is less than 6 years and 1 day. Or Delta, yes, his sentence is more than 6 years and 1 day. And the answer for this question is bravo. No? So no, because he is disqualified. Why? Because the penalty that is imposed upon the crime that he has committed is non-probationable. Okay? So sino nga ba ang pwedeng mag-apply ng probation? Okay, those sentence offender, mga sentensyado na, ay pwedeng mag-apply ng probation, pero yan ay within 15 days from the date of promulgation of judgment. Ano? Not disqualified, sabi dyan, can apply for probation before serving their prison or jail sentence. So, ibig sabihin, once na na-issue na ang kanilang mitimus order, they can no longer apply for probation. Kailan sila pwedeng mag-apply? Within 15 days from the date of promulgation of their judgment, no? But within the period of perfecting the appeal, that is within 15 days. Okay, so who are disqualified for probation based from the provision of PD 968 as amended by Republic Act number 10707, no? So, ang mga disqualified offender, yung first disqualification, those sentenced to serve a maximum term of imprisonment of more than 6 years. So, pagka more than 6 years, ilan nga ba yung more than 6 years? That is 6 years, 1 day. So, kapag ka nag 6 years and 1 day, ay hindi na pwedeng mag-apply ng probation. Okay, why? Because the penalty is considered non-probationable. So tandaan, yung unang disqualification is because of penalty. Ang tawag natin dyan ay non-probationable penalty, no? Yung pangalawa, convicted of any crimes against the national security, no? So bakit naman disqualified? Not because of the penalty, but the crime is considered as non-probationable crime, no? Yung crime ang dahilan. Letter C, those who have been previously convicted by final judgment, punished by imprisonment of more than 6 years and 1 day. So ibig sabihin, kung sila ay na-convict na at sila ay naparusahan na noon at sila'y nakulong ng more than 6 months and 1 day, tapos hindi sila nag-avail ng probation sa ah, unang sentensya nila, then sa pangalawang pagkakataon na gumawa ng krimen, nag-a-avail ulit, ay hindi na pwedeng mag-avail ng probation. Okay, so bakit disqualified? Because of previous conviction, mga kaibigan, no? So tandaan, ang previous conviction ng mga disqualified more than 6 months, no, and 1 day. So 6 months, 1 day, or a fine of 1,000 pesos. Pang-apat na disqualified or disqualification, those who have been once on probation under provision of this decree, no? So ibig sabihin, kung naka-avail na ng probation under the provision of PD 968, hindi na sila pwedeng mag-avail pa uli ng probation because probation can be availed only once under PD 968 as amended by 10707. And yung panglima, those who are already serving sentence at the time the substantive provision of this decree or PD 968 became applicable pursuant to Section 33 ng batas. Bakit? Ang probation kasi ay ito ay exemption sa general exemption ng prospectivity. So ibig sabihin, once ng isang tao ay nagsiserve na ng sentence, hindi ka na pwedeng mag-avail ng probation. Okay? So alam naman natin ang batas po ay prospective paabante, no? Yan. Except sa general exception, di ba? General exemption except if it is in favor, okay, doon sa accused. Yan. So ang exemption nga lang ito, no? Except ang exemption nga lang ay yung PD 968. Yan, yun yung exemption doon sa general exemption ng prospectivity. So tandaan natin, once na nagsiserve na ang isang convicted offender ng kanyang penalty, ay hindi na pwedeng mag-avail ng probation. Pwede itong ma-avail within 15 days, okay, from the date of promulgation of judgment or within a period of perfecting an appeal. Next question. What if Ibarra was sentenced and the penalty is exact 6 years? Is he qualified to apply for probation? No? Saktong 6 years lang. Okay? So letter A, yes, as provided under RA 10707. B, no, because the penalty is exact 6 years. Okay? Charlie, yes, because he was already sentenced. Or Delta, no, because the penalty is more than 6 years. O eksakto, sabi dyan, ano? So the answer is yes, as provided by RA 10707, amending the provision of PD 968, no? Yan. So yes, ang sagot dapat. Okay? So yes, because it is provided under PD 968 also as amended. Pwede rin po 'yon, no? Ayan. Kasi nga ang disqualified based doon sa previous nating na-discuss or sa previous slide, no, ang disqualified ay yung pong ang penalty is more than 6 years, which is 6 years 1 day above. Kasi yon ay considered as non-probationable penalty. All right, next question. Before the judgment will become final, how many days is given to a sentenced offender to apply for probation? So by the way, pagka po na sentensyahan, ang tawag pa lang sa tao ay convicted offender. Okay, hindi pa criminal siyempre. Because criminal refers to a person who was finally convicted by a competent court for violation of law. So ilang araw ang ibinibigay sa isang convicted offender na mag-apply for probation. Letter A, 5 days. Letter B, 15 days. Charlie, 45 days. Or Delta is 60 days. So the answer for this question is bravo. Okay, that is within 15 days from the date of promulgation of judgment, but within the period of perfecting the appeal. Okay, so let us rationalize every choices. Yung 5 days, that is the time given to a certain probationer. No? Yung probationer, kung gusto niyang mag-travel, no, ay kailangan siyang mag-apply within 5 days before the intended travel. Okay? Kasi yung kanyang travel or yung kanyang travel permit ay kailangan pa na i-authorize or i-endorse o kaya i-authorize ng probation officer at aaprubahan ng CPPO if the travel is 30 days and below. Pero kapag more than 30 days na, ay kailangan na po na i-endorse ni CPPO at aaprubahan ni court. Alright? So, yun po yung uh, proseso, ano, yung 5 days na yan. So kung gusto nilang mag-travel, once na sila ay probationer na, then they want to travel outside the residence, no, outside the area of jurisdiction ng court, then kailangan nilang mag-submit ng application for travel, no, within 5 days. Okay? Within 30 days, that is a number of days given to the PPO to conduct pre-parole investigation or PPI and submit what we call as pre-parole investigation report or yung PPIR. Sa parole naman po yan. It is also the number of days given to the Parole and Probation Office to conduct pre-executive clemency investigation. Tapos, syempre, magsasubmit naman ng tinatawag na Pre-Executive Clemency Investigation Report or PECIR. Okay, sa PPI, pagkatapos niyan, ang report naman na gagawin ay PPIR or yung Pre-Parole Investigation Report. Alright? Not later than 60 days, so kaya within 60 days, that is the number given to the PPO to conduct a post-sentence investigation and to submit the post-sentence investigation report. So ang ikakandak mga kaibigan ay yung PSI. Tapos isasubmit yung PSIR. Okay? So kung andun yung word na not later than 60 days, that will be the best answer. Bakit po? Ano pong pagkakaiba ng 60 days sa not later than 60 days? Pagka kasi 60 days, ibig sabihin ba noon ay pag natapos ng investigasyon ay kailangan hintayin muna yung 60 days? Okay, hindi po, no? Basta po natapos yung pag-conduct ng post-sentence investigation, ay po pwede na pong gumawa ng report at isubmit ng mas maaga, no? Huwag lang lalagpas within 60 days. Kasi kung lumagpas, ay po pwede na pong kasuhan yung pong probation officer, no, pagka hindi po humiling ng extension doon sa korte at kung wala pong valid reason, no, trabaho niya yung pagkandak ng post-sentence investigation at pag-prepare ng report, pwede po siyang kasuhan ng non-peasance kasi trabaho niya, wala naman siyang ginagawa. All right. Our next question, where to file the application for probation? So, saan nga ba magfa-file ang isang convicted offender ng application for probation? Letter A, to the Parole and Probation Administration. Letter B, Probation Officer. Charlie is trial court, and Delta to the prosecutor. So, the answer is Charlie, no? So, anong klaseng jurisdiction meron yung korte kung saan ka pwedeng mag-apply ng probation, no? Yan. So, ang klase ng jurisdiction, meron yung korte kung saan pwedeng mag-apply ng probation ay yung tinatawag na original jurisdiction. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung korte na unang duminig sa kaso o kung saan unang final yung kaso at duminig sa kaso sa unang pagkakataon, ay doon ka rin po pwedeng mag-apply ng probation. Ganon, no? Yan. So, the trial court that has original jurisdiction over the case, yan, over the case, meron siyang original jurisdiction, yan din yung court na merong tinatawag na exclusive jurisdiction over probation. So, exclusive, yan, exclusive. Okay, the court that has original jurisdiction over the case is also the court that has exclusive jurisdiction over the probation. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano man ang desisyon ng court once na siya ay nag-apply ng probation or once nang yung isang convicted offender ay nag-apply ng probation, once na yon ay dininay or hindi grant, then that will become final. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi na pwedeng i-appeal. Why? Sabi nga natin, the court that has original jurisdiction over the case is also the court that has exclusive jurisdiction over probation. Okay? So, pwede pong gawing situational yan. Siyempre, for example, kapag yung isang tao po ay gumawa ng krimen dito sa Baguio City, kahit taga saan pa siya, di ba? O taga saan, kahit taga Nueva Ecija, sabihin na natin, tapos pumunta dito sa Baguio, gumawa ng krimen dito which is probationable, saan ba siya pwedeng mag-apply ng probation? Eh, dito ba sa court ng Baguio City, sa court ng San Jose dahil taga San Jose siya, o kaya taga Talavera, ganon, ano? Let's just an example, kahit taga saan, pero dito siya gumawa ng krimen, saan ba ipa-file yung kanyang case? Dito sa Baguio City. So saan siya pwedeng mag-apply ng probation? Dito rin sa Baguio City trial court kung saan dininig ang kanyang kaso. All right. Next question. What action should be taken by the trial court if it received the application for probation? Excuse me po. Yan. So ano yung gagawin ng court once na na-receive yung application for probation? Letter A, the trial court will suspend the execution of sentence. Letter B, the trial court will refer the application to the proper probation office to conduct PSI. Letter C, the trial court will automatically grant the application. Or Delta, the trial court will conduct PSI. So the answer for this question is Alpha. No? Once that the court will receive the application for probation, the court may, sabi dun sa batas, may suspend the execution of sentence. Ibig sabihin, di pa muna siya gagawa ng mitimus order for service of sentence. Aside from that, syempre, ay bibigyan din ng court ng copy furnish yung prosecutor at yung prosecutor ay meron po siyang 10 araw para magbigay ng kanyang comments tungkol po sa application for probation. And of course, yung pangatlo na gagawin ng court, he will also refer the application to the probation office, or parole and probation office, para sila ay mag-conduct ng post-sentence investigation at mag-submit ng PSIR within or not later than 60 days. Okay, next question. Once a convicted offender applied for probation, the trial court shall notify concerned prosecuting officer of the filing of application at a reasonable time it deems necessary and submit his or her comment on application blank. No? So, letter A, within 15 days after conviction. Letter B, within 10 days from the receipt of the notification. Charlie, not later than 60 days from receipt of the order of the said court. Or Delta, not later than 15 days upon receipt of the post-sentence investigation report. And the answer for this question is Bravo, no? O kapag may nag-apply ng probation sa court, the court may suspend the execution of sentence. At the same time, they will give a copy furnish of the application for probation doon po sa prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor is given 10 days from the receipt of notification to give his comments. Okay, so yung pong within 15 days after conviction, that is a period given to the convicted offender to appeal or to apply for probation. So dalawa ang pwedeng gawin within 15 days, either mag-a-appeal or mag-a-apply ng probation. Pagka nag-appeal ka, tapos nag-apply ka ulit ng probation, so dalawa ang ginawa mo, then ano po ang mangyayari doon? Your appeal will be automatically withdrawn. Pero kapag ka nag-apply ka ng probation, o inuna mo yung pag-a-apply ng probation, you can no longer appeal. Kasi nakalagay po sa PD 968 as amended, an application for probation is a waiver of the right to appeal, or pagka naka-apply ka na or naka-appeal ka na, pero nag-apply ka pa na rin ng probation, your appeal will be automatically withdrawn. Okay? Now, within 10 days from receipt of the notification, that is a period given to the prosecutor to give his comment after notification of the court. Not later than 60 days from receipt of the order of the said court, that is a period given to the probation officer to conduct post-sentence investigation. Yan. And submit the post-sentence investigation report not later than 15 days upon receipt of the post-sentence investigation report. That is a period given to the judge to resolve the case upon receipt ng PSIR or post-sentence investigation report. So meron siyang 15 days para gumawa ng resolution whether to deny or to grant the probation. Okay, so this is the simple flowchart, no, ng probation. Diba? So when a certain person can apply for probation or who can apply for probation. Siyempre, ang pwedeng mag-apply ng probation, any person who was convicted. Ayan, di ba? So, dapat convicted. Ibig sabihin, ang suspect, yan, ang respondent, yung accused, okay, ay hindi pa pwedeng mag-apply ng probation yan. Pag suspect pa lang, pag respondent, pag akusado, hindi pwede. Once na makonvict na, o pwede nang mag-apply ng probation. So ilang araw yung kanilang pag-apply ng probation within 15 days after conviction. Okay? Sino yung mga pwedeng mag-apply? Yung mga hindi po disqualified under PD 968 as amended by Republic Act number 10707. So yung pong mga diniscuss natin in the previous slide, no? Yung more than 6 years ang penalty, nakakommit ng crimes against national security, yun pong previously convicted of a crime punishable by 6 months and 1 day or above, di ba? Yung pong naka-avail na ng probation at saka yung pong nag-uumpisa na i-serve yung kanyang sentence. Alright? Disqualified yung mga yan. Pag hindi disqualified, syempre, pwedeng mag-apply ng probation within 15 days. No? Ayan. So saan pwedeng mag-apply ng probation? Sabi nga natin kanina, to the trial court that has original jurisdiction over the case is also the court that has exclusive jurisdiction. So dalawa yung jurisdiction ha. Dapat yung may original jurisdiction, siya rin ang may eksklusibong jurisdiction over probation. Kaya sabi nga natin, buti pa ang korte kung sino ang nakauna, ay siya na ang hahawak sa probation hanggang sa huli. Yan. Okay, then after the receipt ng trial court ng application for probation, ano ang gagawin ng trial court? The trial court may suspend the execution of sentence, hindi mo ka nagagawa ng mitimus, no? And ano pa ang gagawin niya? Bibigyan niya po ng copy furnish, no? Bibigyan ng copy furnish or bibigyan ng kopya yung pong prosecutor at yung prosecutor ay meron pong 10 days para magbigay ng kanyang comment. No? Magbibigay ng comment doon po sa application for probation at isasubmit po sa court within 10 days. Okay? Ganon. Then, aside from that, no? Aside from the suspension of execution of sentence, bibigyan ng copy furnish yung pong prosecutor, ano pa? The trial court will refer also the application for probation to the Parole and Probation Administration, no? Ayan, so bibigyan po ng referral or ibibigay yung referral po para sa pagkakandak ng tinatawag natin na post-sentence investigation. Okay? So the Parole and Probation Office na binigyan ng court ng referral about the application for probation should conduct the post-sentence investigation and they must submit what we call as PSIR, no? Not later than, take note yung word not later than 60 days dapat ay makareport na sila sa court since that will be the basis of the court, no? Basis ng court, yung post-sentence investigation report, whether the court will grant or deny probation. Ganon, no? Then, the post-sentence investigation will be sent back to the trial court. And take note, not later than 60 days po dapat yon. Then, after the court have received the post-sentence investigation, then what will happen? The trial court will issue a resolution or gagawa ng resolution within 15 days or not later than 15 days from the receipt. Take note of the word, from the receipt of the post-sentence investigation report. So ano ang basis ng court? Sa pag-grant or deny ng probation, no? Yung pong post-sentence investigation report. Ayan, no? All right. So, then, dalawa ang po pwedeng maging decision ng court, syempre. Either grant o kaya naman po ay deny the probation. Okay? Kapag ka po denied, syempre, ay impose sentence. Yan. So, kulong na po yan, gagawa ng mitimus order. Pero kapag ka po granted, okay, granted, yan. So, once na nag-grant, sabihin na natin, then the court will issue a probation order at patatawag po yung pong petitioner. Okay? Kasi mula doon sa application hanggang hindi pa nag-grant ang probation, ang tawag sa nag-a-apply ng probation ay petitioner. No, petitioner. Kaya nga kapag ka po siya ay tumakbo within that period ng application for probation, magiging ang tawag sa kanya ay absconding. O, tumakbo na petitioner po pag sinabing absconding petitioner. Yan, no? So absconding petitioner po ang tawag. Okay? So ngayon kapag ka nag-grant po ang probation, then patatawag po yung petitioner at i-explain ng court no yung pong mga condition ng probation. Okay? Yan. Then once na nag-grant po syempre nag-grant na the application is granted, the petitioner will refer to the PPA. So, hindi na petitioner ang tawag sa kanya once na nag-grant na yung probation, ang tawag na sa kanya ay probationer na. Okay, probationer. So, sino yung mag-e-explain ng mga condition ng probation? Siyempre, yung pong korte. Once na nag-grant na ang probation, patatawag siya. Then, isa sa unang condition ay kailangan ay mag-report siya sa tinatawag na initial supervision within 72 hours at mandatory condition ng probation yan. Pangalawa, kailangan niya rin na mag-report doon sa probation officer within 72 hours tapos magre-report din siya at least once a month. At hindi siya po pwedeng gumawa ng kahit anumang krimen. At syempre, ang pang-apat, kailangan niyang sundin lahat ng patakaran ng probation. So yun po yung apat na condition. Magpapakita siya within 72 hours. Ano pa? Magre-report siya at least once a month. Okay? Once a month. Hindi siya pwedeng gumawa ng kahit anumang krimen. At pang-apat ay kailangan niyang sundin yung mga conditions ng probation. Okay? So, yun po, no? At syempre, ay mag-uumpisa na yung supervision niyan, mga kaibigan. Ngayon, pag hindi siya nagpakita within 72 hours, hindi naman siya agad-agad i-declare na absconding probationer, no? Yan. So, once na na-grant na kasi ang kanyang probation, tapos tumakbo siya, hindi siya nagpakita within 72 hours, hahanapin pa siya. After ng 72 hours na yan, hahanapin siya within 5 days. Yan. So 5 days plus yung 72 hours, hahanapin pa siya ng 5 days. Pagka hindi siya mahanap, then tatawagin siyang absconding probationer na. Okay? O kaya doon sa every month na pagre-report, hindi siya nagpakita, hahanapin siya within 5 days. At pag hindi siya makita, pwede siyang i-declare as absconding probationer. Ngayon, pag na-declare siya as absconding probationer, ay pwede na siya ay pagka na-declare ay gagawa yung probation officer ng tinatawag na violation report, no? At pag na-receive ng court yung violation report ay mag-i-issue yung court ng warrant of arrest. Okay, ngayon, katanungan, sino yung mag-a-approve ng post-sentence investigation report na yan? Kasi importante po yan, especially pagka kayo po ay papasok sa parole and probation administration. Okay? So sa probation, meron pong tatlo na importanteng report mga kaibigan. Yung unang report nga, yung post-sentence investigation report. Ang post-sentence investigation report ay ginagawa lamang, okay? Ginagawa pagkatapos na makandak yung tinatawag na post-sentence investigation. O bakit post-sentence? Kasi nga, pwedeng mag-apply ng probation after na nasentensyahan na. Kaya tinawag na post-sentence. Hindi po siya pre-sentence. Okay? So, sino ang magkakandak ng post-sentence investigation, no? At sino yung mag-a-approve ng report? So nakalagay po doon sa dulo ng report, nakalagay doon prepared by, no, yung nagkandak ng investigation, ang tawag natin na investigating officer. Tapos syempre kung meron siyang pangalan, Juan de la Cruz for example, then pipirmahan niya. Okay? So, yun po, no? Tapos lahat ng pages ay lalagyan ng pirma. Okay, ngayon, sino nga naman ang mag-a-approve ng report na yan? Approved by the CPPO, yung head of office kung wala pong CPPO, mga kaibigan, no? So, siya po yung mag-a-approve, pipirmahan niya din, yung pong kanyang pangalan above is printed name, gano'n. Take note, yung post-sentence investigation report na yan, or lahat ng report, no, ay kailangan na yan yung prescribed, no, prescribed by the probation administrator and approved by the secretary ng Department of Justice. So, ano yung piniprescribe nila? Tandaan po, yung ina-approve at piniprescribe nila ay yung format lamang. Yung mismong report ang nag-a-approve doon ay si CPPO. Okay? So pakitandaan po yan. So ano ang gamit po ng PSIR? The PSIR, the purpose, this is the basis of the judge for granting or denying probation. Okay, ano pa yung importanteng report? Yung tinatawag na violation report. Okay, violation report. Okay, report. Yan. No, ang violation report naman, ito ay ginagawa po kapag ka meron pong infraction doon sa condition of probation. So pagka meron pong infractions, ito po yung ginagawang report pagkatapos na gumawa ng tinatawag na fact-finding investigation or FFI. Okay, kapag ka nakandak yung FFI dahil sa infraction, no, hindi sumunod sa condition ng probation, then gagawa po si parole and probation officer ng violation report, no. Sino naman yung magpe-prepare nito? Prepared by the supervising parole and probation officer or SPPO, no, and approved by, tandaan natin lahat ng report ay ina-approve ng head of office. Okay? So CPPO pa rin ang mag-approve. Okay? Then ano ang gamit naman ng violation report? The violation report is basis of the judge for issuance ng tinatawag na warrant of arrest. Ayan, ano? Para didinggin ang violation niya. All right? Then, yung pangatlong report na importante sa probation ay yung tinatawag na termination report. Yan, ito yung tinatawag ding probation officer's final report na kailangan ay isubmit sa court 5 days before the expiration of probation. Alright? Then, yung termination report, ladies and gentlemen, ito yung basis ng judge para sa pag-issue ng certificate of final discharge na tinatawag, no? So ito yung final report pagka po yung probationer ay natapos yung probation. After the probationer have finished, okay, finish the probation program, then the probation office must submit a termination report to the court 5 days po ito, no? 5 days before the expiration of probation. Okay, prepared by the supervising parole and probation officer with signature above his name and approved by the CPPO pa rin or Chief of the Parole and Probation Office, or kung walang CPPO, Head of office. So tatandaan po natin yung pong tatlong report na importante sa probation. We have the post-sentence investigation report, violation report, and termination report. And huwag kakalimutan yung mga purpose ng report na ito. Alright? Okay. So sana ay meron kayong natutunan hanggang dito na lamang. Itutuloy natin sa susunod na kabanata ng ating presentation. Maraming maraming salamat at magandang araw sa inyong lahat.